Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast. It's the ultimate opportunity to look behind the scenes at a Rockstar and hear from the wrestlers themselves. Here are your hosts, Chris Poland and Griffin Gunn.
Hey everybody, I'm very sorry. I fucked up yet again and lost the entire opening segment of this month's podcast. I'm using shitty Mac software on a shitty Mac laptop, and sometimes it just decides to lose files. So I don't know what happened to it. There was 20 minutes of Mark and I talking and having fun, and now that's all gone. So, fuck. I'm clearly bad at this. Maybe they need to find someone who knows how to do this properly. But, might as well salvage what we can. My apologies to Mark, to the Rockstar Nation, to everybody. But at least we can have a spotlight segment. So, without any further ado, here is our spotlight.
This is Austin W.G.S. Bradley. You're listening to Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro's official podcast.
And this episode of Backstage Pass shines the spotlight on someone you might not expect. Now, in the past, I know we've talked to some of the owners here at Rockstar. We've talked to the ring announcer. You're used to hearing our play-by-play guy on a monthly basis. But this time, we're going to sit down with everyone's favorite owner here at Rockstar, the minority owner, Gigi. Gigi, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. I want to start off with you the way I start off with just about everyone that we shine the spotlight on here on the Backstage Pass.
All right.
And that's by asking, what is it that you love about professional wrestling?
Wow. It's a great question. There's so many things. It's violent athletic theater. It's sports and a rock concert and a soap opera all in one. Mm-hmm. You know, you can see grown men hit each other in the face with steel chairs and not end up arrested.
It's true.
It's a great release.
It is. I like to think about it in almost that gladiatorial, Roman Colosseum
Exactly.
type way, right? It's a way to get rid of your stresses by watching some people beat the hell out of one another.
It's a great way to blow off steam.
Yeah. Now, were you a childhood fan? Is this something you came to later in life?
Absolutely. I grew up, I'm a little older than people realize.
Oh, yeah?
And I grew up on the old 80s NWA, the Four Horsemen and Dusty Rhodes. And
Oh, yeah?
Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff, all that era. And then into Sting and I watched WWF too, so yeah, I've been a lifelong fan.
Yeah.
I remember kind of getting out of it when I got into high school. You're a teenager and the hormones are racing and you're
Right.
chasing girls, and I started playing in rock bands, and I didn't follow as closely. And then a few years later, I was at a party at a friend's house, and they had a pay-per-view on, and it sucked me right back in and reminded me of why I loved it. And yeah, other than kind of not following it that closely in high school, otherwise, I've been a lifelong fan.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like politics in that way, right? You try to get out and it sucks you back in. But I would say, if you've got those two options, wrestling's way better than politics. So,
and it's much more real and honest.
Yeah, that's true. You won't get stabbed in the back as much, right? But speaking of stabbing in the back, let's talk about some of your co-workers here. Co-owners, I should say.
I like to call them the Brothers of Dysfunction.
I like it. From now on, I will do the same. So you're minority owner, right?
Yes.
That means that the majority ownership is shared, as I understand it, between C.W. Scott and the man simply known as Michael. Is that correct?
Sort of, yes.
Okay.
We had another partner, and C-Dub acquired their stake in the business. So, yes, he is majority owner, so sometimes he tries to pull that card to trump me or other members of the board. But yeah, that's why we have a board of directors, to try to keep anyone from getting too power crazy. And
right,
you always have to keep the fans' best interest the number one priority.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Is the population of the board top secret? Is that something that fans can know?
Yeah, they, we have a few silent partners. Rockstar Pro has a lot of different sponsors and different businesses that we work with.
Right.
And, we do have a few people that contribute to the office who, want to maintain their anonymity.
Okay, I can respect that. So I have to know, how do you manage to keep your cool? Because most of us know you. Don't get me wrong. We knew you as a in-ring performer as well. Maybe we can get into that in a little bit. But most of us know you as the kind of even-tempered owner, the one who tends to do the right thing. The one
when dealing with C.W. Scott and Michael, somebody's got to have a level head.
Yeah. So I don't know how the heck you're able to keep your cool when you deal with these guys who do things like, I don't know, maybe give DJ Hyde, the owner of a different company, a free shot at the most coveted prize in all of Rockstar.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of his negotiations. When C-Dub worked the contract with DJ, he gave him a guaranteed title shot anytime he wanted it, and we all know how that turned out.
So it must be difficult just to keep communications open with those guys, right? If they're making these kind of deals behind your back, how do you keep up?
Yeah, it gets a little crazy. I've known them for like 20 years.
Wow.
That's a shoot. We've known each other for a long, long time.
Yeah.
They were concert promoters, and Michael used to run a record label. And, I always played in rock bands, and so we kind of met each other through those circles, and that's actually what led to Rockstar Pro getting off the ground. We originally, C-Dub and I had been friends, and we found out we were both wrestling fans, and we kind of bonded over that. And then we had a friend who went and trained and got in the business, and my attitude was sort of like, hey, I'm more athletic than that guy. If he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So, we weren't getting any younger, and we said, now or never, let's try to live the dream. And we went off and trained and got into the business. Once we had trained and started wrestling, then we started using our knowledge of promotion and everything that we knew from throwing rock concerts over the years into, we're like, hey, we've been promoting events for years. Like, let's promote some pro wrestling shows.
Yeah.
And we started doing what we call in the industry spot shows, just random shows around Ohio and different nightclubs. And we even took it on the road to Chicago. That night, Colt Cabana was in the main event.
Oh, yeah.
And that ties into something we can talk about here in a little bit. Colt Cabana is going to be at Rockstar Arena here soon.
That's right.
But yeah, and then so that was the original starting of Rockstar Pro Wrestling. And then, 2.5 years ago, we got Rockstar Arena, and I think the fans know the rest.
Yeah, so much must have changed from then to now. I feel like personality-wise, as far as you go, I think most of the fans have come to know you and respect who you are. But, man, C-Dub, what happened to that guy? Did the power go to his head?
Yeah, I think, again, I don't even want to get into that because it'll just be another fight at the office later when we're...
are there literal physical fights in the office? Because if I were sitting across the desk from that guy...
It's happened where tables have been flipped over during negotiations.
Yeah.
and again, that's a shoot. Again, because I've known the brothers for so long, and I know how hot-tempered they can be.
Yeah.
Long before we were in business together, I had to pull them apart from each other in fistfights. So I've got a lot of experience dealing with them. I think years of traveling in rock bands, and everybody gets drunk and wild, and somebody's got to be, sober and be able to count money at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I think I took that with me into the wrestling business, dealing with those guys. Like, they're going to be a little crazy, so deep breath. Let's think about, okay, what's going to be best for the fans, and go from there.
Somebody has to have those broad shoulders and carry that responsibility. I believe it was at United We Stand that we saw the head of security get fired.
Yeah, that was after the match he had with Jake Christ.
Yeah, that's what I
blood
thought.
Match.
Yeah, and C-Dub wasn't happy with Big Jim's performance as head of security, and now he's gone.
Well, I've had a few fans ask me about that online,
Yeah.
and I have been in negotiations with Big Jim. As a wrestler, he's an incredible talent. And a few months ago in the ring and in front of everybody, right to Jim's face, I kind of scolded him and told him, I know how talented he is. I know how good he is. He should be a main eventer here. He should be challenging for the championship. And, you know, he got his pockets lined. He got the wheel was greased by C-Dub, and he kind of started drinking C-Dub's Kool-Aid.
Right.
And eventually Jim kind of realized the dirty business dealing that he had entered into there.
Yeah. Well, it's good that he's no longer under C-Dub's spell. Hopefully that might mean in the future C-Dub himself might get a reality check, so to speak. So
I'd love to see him get a reality salt. Have you ever seen Big Jim do the moonsault? That's a big man to be doing a backflip off the top rope.
That is indeed. Now, speaking of that, you know, those fans in the Rockstar Nation who've been here since the beginning probably know you as a performer as well, as an actual in-ring wrestler. Now you're more kind of behind the scenes taking a business role, but you have a lot of experience in that ring yourself. Do you ever miss it? Do you miss the thrill of the squared circle?
Oh, absolutely. A few months ago, somebody had a family emergency and had to back out of the Gem City Slam, Gem City Rumble match. And I took that opportunity to inject myself into the Battle Royal to keep C-Dub from abusing his power. And if you remember, he gave himself a nice cushy spot really late in the Rumble.
Yeah.
We had a wrestler that night who had a family emergency and had to drop off the show at the last minute, and I went, oh, look at that. We have an opening in the Rumble. So yeah, that one Battle Royal is the only time I've been in the ring in nearly a year now. It was about a year ago. But, for any fans who don't know, I broke my ankle and didn't know it. And in this business, it's the gift and the curse of high pain tolerance. You get so used to it, and you're all jacked up on the adrenaline, and then you get home that night and can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
And I had a bad wheel, thought it was a sprain, just kept bothering me. And week after week, I just felt like I couldn't give it my all. I wasn't happy with my performances in the ring because my ankle was just weak and giving out on me. And then I ended up suffering a different injury. I got bruised ribs, and that sort of sent me back to the doctors to get everything checked out.
Right.
And they went, oh, that urgent care you went to when you hurt your ankle, they missed these fractures and blah, blah, blah. And so come to find out, I was wrestling on a broken ankle for 2 months and did a bunch of ligament damage. And so now it's my old man war wound. I've just been having a lot of problems with it. And I'm hoping to be back in the ring, but it just depends on how the physical therapy goes. And, I don't want to get in if I can't go 100%. If I can't perform to the best of my abilities, I don't want to rob the fans. They pay their hard-earned money to see the best at Rockstar Pro.
I think it just goes to show the commitment, and the dedication and the love that people like you have for this sport. The fact that, like you said, you work through that pain, you think, it's no big deal, but it may come back to catch you, unfortunately. But at least you can still be involved in the wheelings and dealings of Rockstar.
C-Dub, Michael, and I started this company, and knowing those guys' temper and knowing everything, just the politics and all the craziness, I really wanted to stay out of the office.
Yeah.
I was always sort of a silent owner. A lot of fans didn't even know that, I was part of the office.
Right.
And when I got hurt, if everyone remembers, C-Dub, before he got power hungry, C-Dub and I were in a tag team.
That's right.
And after our team split up, and we had a series of matches, which I made him tap out in the middle of the ring, for the record. And then I got hurt. And so while I'm on the sidelines, I'm watching him just abuse his power, and he's changing stipulations to suit his needs. He's putting basically guys who do favors for him get favors, guys who don't were being punished, and I just had no choice but to start taking a more active role in the office.
Yeah. I don't think anyone blames you, and I think a lot of us would thank you for doing just that, to balance things out a little bit, hopefully.
My favorite thing that's sprung up, I love our fans. I love how clever and creative they are with some of their chants. And I love that here recently the fans have been chanting Voice of Reason when I come out. So I love that they appreciate everything I'm trying to do. Yeah, C-Dub sometimes has his own best interest or or what he personally is going to get the quickest satisfaction, whether he's mad at somebody or whether he's trying to make some money or whatever. I try to think long term. I try to think big picture. I try to think, where's Rockstar going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now?
Right. I think somebody has to take that long view, because if not, a company can't be sustainable, I don't think, unless somebody's really planning for 5, 10, 15 years ahead.
Our upcoming pay-per-view, not only do we have our championship match, but we also have a #1 contenders match to set up the main event for the next month's pay-per-view. So coming out of We Are Rockstar, the fans will already know the main event of the next pay-per-view.
Right. And you were the one who booked that, I believe,
Yes.
correct? Yeah, so We Are Rockstar is shaping up to be awesome. As you mentioned, we have some other great upcoming events, too. Colt Cabana and Marty DeRosa are going to be here doing their, wrestle comedy shtick.
If you've ever seen the show, it's hilarious. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, it's really funny. And for wrestling fans, I think they'll appreciate it even more. But Colt Cabana is hilarious. He's coming with another comedian, and they're going to do like Mystery Science Theater style. They're going to have what they call bad wrestling matches up on the big screen, and they're going to do live, hilarious comedy commentary over it. And it should be a good time. It should be a great event, and we're all real excited to have Colt Cabana at the Rockstar Arena.
Yeah, that is super awesome. Also, speaking of music, you've been in a band. You're a lifelong music fan. Coffin Cats are coming in September. That's pretty awesome in and of itself.
Yeah, a great psychobilly band from Detroit. They've played the arena before. Again, through concert promotion, Michael and I know a lot of agents and have been dealing with a lot of different bands over the years. They called us wanting a show. They came. We had a great time with them, and now they want to come back.
Awesome. Just to pick your brain real quick, what have you been listening to of late? This is more personal curiosity, but I want to know. I think the fans might want to as well.
Obviously, people know me as kind of like a punk rocker, but I like a lot of different stuff. I like some country. I like some hip-hop. I like some records I've picked up recently. The Super Suckers have a new album out called Get the Hell. They're going to be coming through the area, coming to Newport, Kentucky here soon. So
cool. One
of my all-time favorite rock and roll bands. They have a really good new record. Cutthroat Shamrock, a great band from Tennessee. I don't even know. They call themselves Appalachian Punk, but it's really a stew of rock, bluegrass, and traditional Irish folk music.
Interesting combo.
Yeah, they're a great band. It's just like if you're familiar with Dropkick Murphys, you know, they're like a punk rock Irish hybrid.
Definitely.
This band's much more traditional.
Okay.
They banjo and they have a washboard player.
Wow. Huh.
But yeah, their new record's fantastic.
That's cool.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm always listening to different stuff. And then I've been listening to a lot of Yellow Wolf, you know? So, I don't know. I like a lot of different stuff.
Cool. Hopefully, I can hear the fingers clicking on keyboards, going onto iTunes right now. You may have just pumped some sales up for some bands. I want to finish up the way I did last episode. This is something new we tried out with Jeremiah. I want to try it out with you, too.
All right.
Just a little bit of word association, all right?
All right.
So I'm going to tell you the name of, somebody around here in Rockstar. And I want you...
This could get juicy, fans.
I want you to give me the first thing that pops into your head. It doesn't have to be a single word. It can be a phrase.
Fantastic.
Whatever it may be, all right? We'll start off easy.
All right.
DJ Hyde.
Dangerous.
Okay. Alex Colon.
Ooh. Cicero Cup winner, former Rockstar champion, best of the best.
How about C.W. Scott?
What is it that the fans chant? C-Dub sucks.
If I say the man simply known as Michael, are you just going to say Swallows?
That's possibly my favorite chant. Honestly, nothing brings a smile to my face as much as when the Rockstar Nation, in unison, in anger, chant F-U C-Dub.
How about Zach Spades?
Oh, I can say Sick and Twisted, but I'll take a second to put him over. I've known Zach for years. We kind of came up together. We trained together. Me and C-Dub's old tag team had a long rivalry with Zach Spade's old tag team. One word, proud.
Okay. How about Crazy Mary Dobson?
Oh, the name says it all. One tough broad.
Okay. Madman Pondo?
Again, it's right in his name. Bloody, crazy, afraid of nothing.
How about Matt Taylor?
Ooh. Taylor might possibly be the, we call Zach Sick and Twisted, and, a lot of people have some bold nicknames and things they like to say, but I think he really might be the craziest person on the roster.
Yeah? Well, this is going to follow Matt Taylor. How about Dave Christ?
Oh, again, so proud of those guys. I learned a lot from Dave and Jake when I first got in the business. They, Dave and I are both tattooed punk rockers, and we had a lot in common outside of wrestling. So he kind of took me under his wing, and he really taught me a lot, and I learned a lot from those guys. And there were some issues when they first came. There were some people in the office who didn't want them here.
Really?
And that's why they just had to invade.
Yeah.
And as shocking and crazy as it was when it happened, I'm so glad they did. One word, we'll say grateful.
Okay. How about this? Might be the most difficult of all. Gigi.
Busy. Juggling. Multitasking. Doing the best I can.
Awesome. I love it. Well, unless you have anything else you want to share with the Rockstar Nation, I think this just about wraps it up.
One big announcement that we can kind of tease, I don't want to give it away just yet, but we're in negotiations with a very big name who is a fan of Rockstar, and he is in fact a former world champion. And if everything goes well, he's going to be coming to the arena soon. So more about that will be announced soon. Keep an eye on it. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, RockstarProWrestling.com. Check out our new home for iPPV at DIYWrestling.com. And
I've been there. It's great.
And yeah, We Are Rockstar. People know that, we've been open, the arena has been open for 2.5 years, but our monthly weekend events, this will be the 1-year anniversary of us coming to iPPV.
That's
so
right.
1 year of internet pay-per-view, We Are Rockstar, August 8th, and we're excited.
Awesome. Gigi, thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I'm Madman Pondo.
And I'm Crazy Mary Dobson.
We are.
Rockstar.
Come check us out at Rockstar Pro, or we'll come to your house and pull your larynx out.
And now we're back with more Backstage Pass.
Well, that about does it for yet another episode of Backstage Pass. I am your host, Chris Poland. I want to thank Mark Turner for filling in for Griffin Gunn yet again.
I hope this isn't my last episode ever. Hopefully after tonight, I'm still alive, still capable.
Yeah. I think everyone will hopefully know by the time this is posted whether you survived your match with Jake Christ or not. But yeah, next time, if you're not here, maybe I'll ask Jake. Maybe he can take your spot too.
I'd be okay with that. I hope he doesn't give you the same treatment he gives me tonight.
Oh, Jesus, I hope so as well. So, let's one last time talk about We Are Rockstar coming up August 8th. That's Friday, as all the iPPV shows are, at Rockstar Pro Arena. Doors at 7, first bell at 7:30. Some of the premier matches that are going to be at that bill will be Aaron Williams versus Ron Mathis to determine the next #1 contender.
Matt Taylor's going to defend his LuchaCore Championship against Dave Christ of the OI4K.
And last but certainly not least, your Rockstar Pro Champion, DJ Hyde. It pains me to even say it.
I can't get used to that at all.
Versus Alex Colon for the Rockstar Pro Championship. We need each and every one of you who's hearing my voice right now to be here and support Alex. You know what? I'm throwing any sort of, unbiased, journalistic ethic out the window because I want Alex to win this match.
Hey, I don't blame you. I'll do the same thing behind the microphone.
That's right. So be here August 8th. There's also talk of a disco dance party after the show.
Yes, there is. And, this isn't my forte at all.
Yeah?
I'm just going to tell you that. If I go to this thing, it might be a bigger embarrassment than this match tonight against Jake Christ.
Well, yeah, provided you make it through the night. That's another reason to come on the 8th is you can stick around for the dance party, see some of the Beast from East 3rd Street, rock out, show you some of his moves on the dance floor.
Yeah, some of the wrestlers might be out there. I mean, it'll be a good time. You can mingle amongst the wrestlers and the great Rockstar Nation for this great disco party.
And I believe that goes into the wee hours of the morning, or at least 1 a.m. After the
at least the wee hour.
Ends. Yeah, the wee hour of the morning. In addition to that, a couple other upcoming events that we should really shine the light on. Not the spotlight, though. That's all out of energy or something.
It's already been shown.
Yeah. Or should I guess I could say, upcoming events.
Hey, I like that.
Boom, boom. Colt Cabana's going to be here with Marty DeRosa. They're bringing their comedy tour to Rockstar. Friday, August 29th at 9 p.m. It's an all-ages show. It's only $10, and it's going to be freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, I can't wait for this one right here. We haven't had a show like this in the entire history of the Rockstar Pro Arena right here. I mean, Colt Cabana's bringing his comedy show. If you love wrestling, if you love comedy, if you love life, come to this great event right here. I mean, you're going to have a great time, guaranteed.
Yeah, if you're unfamiliar with Colt Cabana's work, then, I'm going to have to revoke your independent wrestling fan card or something like that, right? He's absolutely hilarious. And he does a series of, a lot of video series actually, but I think what we're going to see mostly at this show is something along the lines of $5 wrestling, right? If you're uninitiated, maybe a Riff Trax or Mystery Science Theater 3000, except it's pro wrestling instead of bad movies, right?
That's correct. He's going to show some bad wrestling, and he's going to commentate over it. Him and Marty DeRosa, who is a stand-up comedian himself, and a great wrestling fan. And it's going to be a great time. And I hope my match isn't one of the bad wrestling matches they're going to show.
God, I hope not too.
Yeah, I don't want to witness that again, if I'm even alive to witness it.
Right, I don't know if it's going to last long enough. No offense, but I don't know if they'll have much material to work on if Jake just kicks your head off or something in the opening seconds.
Hey, no offense taken.
You should come out for that. Again, that's August 29th. At 9 p.m. Additionally, you may remember them from the Christmas show, right? The Coffin Cats will be coming to Rockstar Pro Arena along with Red Hot Rebellion and The Loveless. That's Sunday, September 14th. I don't have a price for you yet, but that will also be an all-ages show. So if you like your Billy Rocked, that was real bad, but hey, what are you going to do? Come out and see the Coffin Cats, right, Mark?
Absolutely.
Also, be here every Wednesday for Amped. Come out to other pay-per-views post We Are Rockstar. And if you can't see them, you can catch them on RF Video, but more recently you can catch them on DIYWrestling.com. I have to give full disclosure here. I missed United We Stand. I was out of town. I'm a terrible person. But I was able to hop on DIY Wrestling just a few short days after, before the next Amped even, and catch up with what was going on here in Rockstar Pro. So DIY Wrestling, it's a great place to catch all the upcoming Rockstar pay-per-views and some special matches like the Crazy Mary Dobson versus Lufisto match.
Yeah, without a doubt. You are on the ball, man.
Hey, man, I try.
You stole everything I was going to say. I mean, you are right on the ball. DIYWrestling.com. If we have any great matches on Amped that you miss, they'll be put right up there and it only costs like $1 or $2. You can't beat it.
Well, I have to get used to doing this in case you don't survive. I've got to pick up the slack and this will become a one-man show.
Very true. Gosh, it keeps going back there. I don't want to think about it
I'm sorry. So, finally, we want to give a shout-out to our sponsors, Truth and Triumph Tattoo and the OMG Touch. I know our wrestlers get some massages sometimes before matches, and they have said nothing but great things about it.
I hope the OMG Touch knows how to place a head back on the shoulders after it's been kicked off, because I might need that today.
Well, we'll find out next time. So, as always, follow us on social media, YouTube. You know how to use the internet, right? You go on Facebook, you click things you like, etc. Right? They can follow you on Twitter too, right?
Absolutely, at Mark Turner 1984.
And at Rockstar Pro Wrest for all your latest Rockstar Pro Wrestling news. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Backstage Pass.
That's all for this episode. Be sure to come back for another edition of Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast.